60, 59, 58. This is a countdown 57, to the Slade and Mayson Show. 55, 54. This continues to be a countdown to the Slade and Mayson Show. 50, 49, 48. You're listening to the countdown to the Slade and Mason Show. 45, 44, 43. This is the continued countdown 41, to the Slade and Mason Show. 39, 38. Right now, 37. You're listening 36, to the countdown 35, to the Slade and Mason Show. 33. Please stand by as you're listening to the countdown 30, to the Slade and Mason Show. 28, 27. This 26, of course, the countdown to the Slade 24, and Mason Show. 23, 22. We continue 21 now with the countdown 20, to the Slade 19, and Mason Show. 18, 17. Stand by 16, as we are 15, now delivering the countdown 14, to the Slade 13, and Mason Show. 12, 11. Yes, 10. This is our countdown 9, to the Slade 8, and Mason 7, Show. 6. 5. Are you ready? 4. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Now broadcasting from the Dan Mayson Studios, deep in the heart of Virginia, it's the Slade and Mayson Show.
I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mayson.
And this is the Slade and Mayson Show.
JD?
I just want to put you
Nick,
in the pen.
Nah. I knew you were there.
Yeah, I thought I was there.
Mm. Hey, I'm Dan Mayson.
Good morning, Mr. Mayson.
Good morning, Mr. Slade. Okay, this is the Slade.
I'm J.D. Slade.
Yeah.
This is the Slade and Mayson Show.
So this will be the Slade. All right, let's do this again.
Hi, I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mason.
And this is the Slade and Mayson Show.
Just in case you guys forgot what we were doing just now. The Slade and Mayson Show is all about you and us. It's like a radio program where we share with you news stories and things that we see throughout the week. It's our take on it. Basically, we're saying the things that you're thinking of deep in your brain, and you would never hear this on the radio. As a matter of fact, this program may very well be PG-13 today, but really, we're just having fun. Don't take it seriously. Just enjoy.
You are
Stop it.
Chicken Little.
Now, all the music you're listening to in the background, unless mentioned otherwise, is brought to you by good old Dano Music. Dano Music. Whatever. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram.
And if it's not, we'll let you know about it.
Yeah, we'll let you know about it. Let's see. Oh, yes. So, couple things. All right. First off, you can check us out on YouTube. It looks like you can still get us on Anchor.fm. However, Apple has bumped us from their family, so we're available to everybody else on the planet. Let's see. Make sure you tell your friends. I don't like
all my relatives.
There you go. And don't forget, we're sponsored by Icey, something icy, but apparently after today's show, maybe not. We'll see. All right. So, Mr. Slade.
Oh, come on now.
Come on. What's your rant?
Off, let me just okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we started the program, it's like I called Dan and I said, Dan, listen, I want you to do this pre-work assignment. I'm going to talk about the assignment in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But this past week has been one very, very emotional week. On Monday, I started the 12th year of my morning show
mm-hmm.
on the radio station. That's over 3,000 mornings.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. On Tuesday, it was the actual 9, 10. Yeah. It was the actual 70th birthday of the radio station.
Birthday or anniversary?
Anniversary. Well, it was birthday because it went on the air 12 noon on September 10th, 1949.
So it was birthed.
Birthday, yes.
So it
but
came out of a tube.
Anniversary because there's no living element to it. But anyhow, then on Wednesday, the emotional stress of reliving the most horrendous act in this country. Where were you on September 11th?
I was at home, and let's see. We were watching like CNN News for who knows what else. And they just announced that, a plane went down into Trade Center, and they were gonna break away live to it, and they did. And just at that point, a second plane went into it, and I was like, something bad is happening.
Oh yeah, it's like I was a manager at Plow and Hearth, and I walked into the building, and of course they had television monitors all over the place. It's like and it was like a tomb, and people were glued to the television.
Yeah,
and it didn't take long to figure out what had happened, and especially with the banners going across. It was a very, very scary time, very scary, because do you know that not one plane flew anywhere in this country for a brief moment in time? And so it's like I had a couple of people who called my show, including one guy who was working in Midtown Manhattan at the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yep.
And again, they were laying out, they were getting ready to secure parts of the tunnel, and the planes went over, and he came up, and he watched the plane start to descend, and he thought it was actually taking off, and he actually watched it slam into the Trade Center.
Yep.
Horrendous. I just, again, so like I say, it's been a real emotional week again, but it also showed our resolve, because it was traumatic. It was horrendous, but it didn't stop us. And that's one of the things. I'll tell you what, I listened to me some Charlie Daniels quick in America. We are forward tough.
Well, and it was interesting because they said there was an article that came out shortly after that took place, and we're not trying to be downers, everybody. This is actually we'll get past this, but they were talking about the fact that America will never recover from this, and our friends up in the north in Canada said, "Yeah, you just watch, America's going to come back even stronger after this," and I think we have. I really do think we have. So,
yeah, but you see again, but at what cost? At what cost? It's like we're now more heightened alert. It's like, again, there's more fear in going out and traveling.
Yes, but the most important thing
I guess it's time for us to start waking up to it.
I think the most important thing is that we now have our friends over at NSA listening to us. So welcome to the Slade and Mayson Show.
I told you I had to throw them in there. All right, so now this coming week, and it's like this is an exclusive to the Slade and Mayson Show.
Ooh.
The radio station is having this anniversary party, and I invited you, but you again, you're being antisocial. So, but anyway, I went.
I got to wash my socks that day.
Well, yeah, I got some Q-tips I got to clean my ears out with, but no. So what? I went to, nobody knows this, and they are not going to know it unless they listen to this show.
Which they don't.
So I went last week because I'm going to make this an event. I'm going to make an entrance. I look really, I clean up real good. I record real good. My Saturday night baths are monumental. So I went and I got measured for a tux. If I didn't stand out before, remember, I'm the one you can see from 22,000 miles up in Czechoslovakia. If I didn't stand out before, I'm doggone sure going to stand out for this party.
Well, I can't wait to see that. You going to post a picture up on Facebook somewhere or someplace?
I want many pictures posted, again, because it's like, I don't expect to make it to the 75th. So it's like, this is going to be an event And like I say, I'm going to make an entrance, and it's it's going to be one for the books.
They're going to go, what the Ferengi?
Yes, sir.
Well,
yeah, well, again, and then on top of everything else, I'm going to arrive fashionably late because all the festivities begin at about 5, and I'll get there about 5:15, 5:10, 5:15, and then. Hey, listen, it's on a Thursday. I got to go to work on Friday.
I was going to say, isn't that just about your bedtime?
About 6:15, I will graciously excuse myself. They'll be looking at the back of my tux as I'm walking out.
Aw.
All right.
So
television has changed so much since you and I were youths watching Officer Joe Bolton and Captain Jack McCarthy and learning about Carvel cakes.
Now,
and again,
before you get into your to-do, I got to tell you, a lot of people who were much younger than myself, when they first saw Dragnet, they all thought it was a comedy. It was like, wait, are they really going over to this guy's neighborhood's kids' garage to find out these kids stole some apples?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this was a real program. You've got to be taken from the files of Los Angeles. It's like, dum, 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 dum. Yeah.
Well, that's because that's boring criminal activity.
Yes.
If it isn't going with blowing somebody's head off or chopping somebody up into 100 pieces.
We just don't care about it anymore.
Yeah. But it's like the average cop will never draw his gun.
Good.
Will never draw his gun. But that's not what you see on TV. On TV, every cop's pulling out his gun and he's like shooting 900 times. It's like, again, there are only 8 shells in the gun, but this guy is like shooting 22 times.
It's funny you mention that because we watched, what the heck was it? It was a Batman movie. It was a cartoon Batman. There's new Batman cartoon that DC Comics did. And for the record, hey, DC Comics, if you're listening, do the world a favor. Take your entire repertoire and hand it over to Marvel and say, you know what? We suck at doing movies. Here.
I gotta tell you,
do it. Just do it because
I'm glad you brought this.
Wait,
up.
Because the one chick pulls out this gun. First off, each bullet has a circumference about 6.5, maybe 8 inches in diameter. Okay, and she's going. Now the chamber holder is about 2.5 inches across. So even for Cartoon World, even for Bugs Bunny, even for Roadrunner, that would be like way off the charts ridiculous. I'm just saying.
Now, as a gun owner and as a owner of a 44 Magnum, which, by the way, you will be reminded is the most powerful handgun on the face of the planet.
Dude, you're lucky punk.
You know what recoil is?
Yes.
It's like you fire, yeah. And so
6.5 inch diameter.
And she's standing steady, ain't she?
Oh, yeah. Well, she got a little bit of kickback on the first one.
Yeah. She was going to get a lot more kickback. She was going to knock herself out with that first one.
Well, after the first 8 or 9 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. Number one, if your arm isn't torn out of its socket.
Mm-hmm. And it was a revolver. So I'm like, where is she keeping these things? Where are they coming from? So I say, DC Comics, just hand the keys over to Marvel because really.
Okay, here, I wasn't going to get into this, but you brought it up. By
the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the show's all about. We have an entire list of things we want to talk about, and the next thing you know, we're on a tangent. So,
but then Dan says something, and then it's like that sends me off on a tangent, and then I say something, and that sends him off on talking about microwave fixing and such. So, all right,
go.
All right, yes, you're absolutely right. Marvel has the formula down for making their superhero movies.
Yep.
My problem that I am coming up with, not only does DC do a poor job, even though they had the better comics, they're intent on changing the mythos of the characters that we know so that they can update them for today's young people who, one, aren't reading comic books anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here's the latest example. The Joker.
Oh, don't even get me. Oh my gosh. I saw. Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is playing the Joker. Now, all you need to know, and I'm gonna spill the beans on this, is that Joker was an accidental victim of toxic waste, which is what ended up. He fell into a sewage plant, which is what ended up turning his skin white, his hair green, his lips red. They're not considering that on the Joker movie.
Nope.
Number one, I mean, see, it's not our fault that the greatest comic book writers came out of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. That's not our fault. What is our fault is the fact that we're allowing today's hotshot writers and directors to change the entire concept of the superhero universe as I know it.
Yeah.
And since I'm still young enough to be able to put my 2 cents in here and stand up and say, hey, wait a minute. Here's what DC is going to have to do, and Marvel beat them to this. Marvel changed some of the storylines on some of their superheroes. But what they did is they thought, hey, we better remember that the JD Slades are out there, and they're not going to let us just get away with this.
Nope.
So they created a classic line and a modern line.
Yes.
That's fine, because then you have a choice as to whether you want to, again, relive your childhood or learn about the origins, the real origins of these superheroes. Or, again, if you just, I don't care. I just like brightly colored things. I like things being blown up. There you go. Boom.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. So again, it's funny that you mentioned this because I was thinking about this just this morning before I came out.
That's because you and I are twins.
Yes, we
People
are.
People don't realize that.
We are.
You go to olfw.com, you'll see a picture of us that's been stuck together because, we are twins. Yeah.
All right. So, the biggest disappointment of the year for me, being the comic book superhero aficionado that I am, was Aquaman.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
And yet that was actually their best movie. It was like, as my daughter referred to it as, it is like, it's like one of, it's like Spider-Man 3. It's like, hey, good graphics, decent-ish storyline. All right.
But listen, when you were a kid, and we all did it,
yeah,
we were playing superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be Superman, and I'm going to be Batman, and I got a ring. I'm going to be Green Lantern. Nobody wanted to be Aquaman.
I hate to tell you who I was.
Aquaman.
No, I was not.
I mean,
I was one step away from Mr. Magoo. I was. Oh, yeah, fine. Oh, watch that car. No, my hero, my absolute hero, the one I could associate with, and here it comes, Underdog. There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. With sweet Polly Purebred and Simon Bar Sinister. Simon says, "Freeze, Underdog."
Christ goes out and blinding people. Underdog.
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 Underdog. Speed of light. All right. Anyway, so we'll get sued on the
Fighting all who rob or plunder. Underdog.
Mob.
Underdog.
Okay. So anyway, he was my
Okay,
he was my hero. He got that little tiny ring, and I'm feeling well, and I open up the ring and I take my super energy pill. Next thing you know, he's whipping the butt out of who and everybody. It's great.
Oh, all right. So again, the origin stories are there, and so then now look, I'm not so old that I don't remember what Aquaman looked like in the comic books.
Yeah,
this guy
ain't nothing like him.
No, sir.
Nope.
I mean, listen, in the comic books, Arthur Kent was a blue-eyed, really blonde-haired Nordic man. The guy on the movie screen is definitely not Nordic. He is definitely no blonde.
Mm-mm.
And I think the Isle of Samoa is a long way from Atlantis. So again, so listen, so you've got this archive. You've got Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You've got The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. You've got, so why would you focus on Aquaman? I don't even like the television show Arrow because, again, this is not Oliver Queen that I know from the comic books. And I realize, okay, so now I guess I have to start admitting that I'm finally old.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well,
there you go. Yeah, you're getting into that. When I was your age,
no, so I can.
He used to ride a seahorse named Giddy Up. And he used to fight those purple monsters under the sea. I don't see that anymore. No, they have this big buff guy with a big arrow-shaped thing with tattoos all over him. What kind of Nancy-pansy type of thing is that? My day, he used to wear green leotards and a red shirt. He was handsome. So, all right, JD. Yeah, you are old.
Look, I guess it's because I have watched the superhero progression in cinema for years.
Yeah. Back
when they had this really big head guy playing Robin, the Boy Wonder, in the 1939 serials.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, they didn't have the effects, so it looked really cheesy, and it looks even cheesier now.
Yes.
Then we came into the 50s with the George Reeves stage of Superman.
Yes.
And except for the fact that, hey, a pair of glasses made a whole lot of difference.
I don't know who the guy is. You can't see him no more.
He takes his glasses off and, hey, have you seen Clark?
Oh, wow, look, it's Clark. Hey, Clark, how you doing? We just saw him, man. He's not here. What happened?
All right, so then we got into the 60s, and technologically we were a little bit better, and thus we came up with the 1966 television debut of Batman. All right. Now, for as campy and as funny and as corny as that was, it was a little bit closer, except was Adam West not the worst looking Batman ever? The guy had no muscles. It's like, his arms were just straight. It's like he actually had a little pouch for a belly.
Well, but he had his utility belt that got him to do anything he wanted to. You got to realize something. I never had the opportunity to see any of the comic books growing up. I don't know if you know that. Not a one. As a matter of fact, to this day, I've never partaked on any. And it's not from like not wanting or it was just never introduced to me. So comic books were what was that one with the only one I had was
Who's old?
can't remember.
Yeah. No, man.
What was that? Tintin. That was it. The Tintin series. That was it.
Oh, what a waste. No, oh man, I am so sorry because like I said, comic books were, well, especially you're a fat black kid. And
I'm not.
I mean, really fat black kid.
No, I'm not.
You can't run with the gang, again,
you can't run, period.
Things like that. So comic books is an escape.
Yeah.
And it probably helped form the nuttiness that you're hearing right now. But anyway, so let me get back to my points here. So you're right. Marvel, I don't know who in Marvel it is, but God bless them, because it's like they have found a way, because I remember the early Marvel films, the early Fantastic Four film, which was really awful. But it's like they've gotten better, and it's like, and stronger. And of course, technology hasn't hurt them. So it's like, you're right. They really, DC, just close up your movie division, give the rights to Marvel, and just take the profits, because you'll make a lot more money that way.
Heck yeah. I'm on board with that one. Let's do it, babe.
Again, like I say, you've got the catalog that DC Comics has, and you see them just whizzing away valuable assets, putting out junk.
Yep.
Again, like I say, there are going to be those people who are going to say, oh, yeah, Joker, that's the greatest movie ever.
No.
Well, I hate to say this. I'd almost rather see Cesar Romero than to see Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I saw the previews to it, and I said, that's 2.5 hours of my life I'm not going to get back if I watch that.
And if you want a modern-day Joker that you want to go ahead and think really could be insane, the Heath Ledger version was a scary Joker.
Yes. Yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah, he did.
We were talking about that last night because we saw the previews for the new Joker, and we were like, no, this ain't working.
Well, I kept thinking, Joaquin Phoenix, isn't he the one that died in front of the Viper room? But that was River. Sorry.
No. Oh, my gosh. All right, well, we got about 3 minutes before our break.
3 minutes?
Before our break.
Okay, then let me get this out of the way, and then it's like you won't have to worry about the program being PG-13 or whatever. I'm watching my favorite wrestling video. Again, it's a podcast, a wrestling podcast. And, they go off topic, sort of like the Slade and Mayson show does on occasion. And they started talking about guilty pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I don't even remember. It was either the 80s or the 90s. They blend all together there. The guilty pleasure I had was the season 1 of Big Brother and Survivor. I did not miss an episode. But after I saw season 1 of both, I was done. I didn't need to see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the wrestling podcasters is talking about his guilty pleasure. And in the UK, they're a lot more relaxed. And as a matter of fact, most of Europe is more relaxed about their television viewing than we are here in the United States, because for some reason, we're just immature jerks who cannot handle seeing a boob. So he said,
wait. I can handle seeing. I'm okay with it. Go ahead. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're one of the rare ones. All right. Okay. So anyway, this podcaster on this wrestling podcast says, it's like they've got a program over here. It's called Naked Attraction. Now, it's probably never going to be syndicated, so our friends in the United States will never be able to see it. Well, thank God for YouTube.
For crying out loud.
I'm telling you, I learn a lot from foreign cultures. And, there are a couple of words that I can't remember the last time I used them, but I've heard them more often than not in the last couple of days. You know what they are?
What?
Woody and Dallywhacker.
Thank goodness for this break. Sadly, however, we will return to the Slade and Mayson Show.
Today in history, September 15th, 1616. The first non-aristocratic free public school in Europe is opened in Frascati, Italy. Of course, there was sadly no valet parking. 1821. Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica jointly declare independence from Spain. To wit, Spain pointed out, you guys are a jungle, right? All right, keep it. 1947. RCA releases the 12AX7 vacuum tube. It's a miniature dual triode vacuum tube with a high voltage gain, developed by the RCA engineers in Harris, New Jersey. It was originally designed to replace the 6SL7 family of dual triode amplifiers. In series, it had a heater voltage of 12.6 and in parallel 6.3. The heater current, it was really clean, really loud. 1968, the Soviet Zond 5 spaceship is launched, becoming the first spacecraft to fly around the moon and re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. It had a biological payload of 2 Russian tortoises, wine flies, mealworms, plants, seeds, bacteria. Basically, someone just dumped the trash in there. And finally, 2008, Lehman Brothers files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the largest bankruptcy filing in U.S. history. They had a debt of $613 billion, a bond debt of $155 billion, assets of $639 billion. Kind of like the Mayson household, but you got to move the decimal point over to the left about 9 digits. I'm Dan Mayson, and that's September 15th.
Hey there, Carmine Neguzio here. How you doing? Hey, listen, I know times are kind of rough out there still. So what I've done is I started my own little pawn shop. I said pawn shop. Yeah, but this one's a little bit different. So all you gotta do is look for me. Yeah, I've been driving around my green and purple Cadillac there. It's a 73. It's a beauty. Now just come on over, tap on the glass there, show me what you got, and I'll throw out some cash to you. It's pretty simple. No paperwork. It's an easy deal. Yeah, just give me a call if you got something different, if you know what I'm saying. We take everything, rings, bracelets, we could take necklaces, household silverware you found, maybe sitting around somewhere. If you got copper piping, just look for the purple and the green pickup truck that we have floating around there. That's driving my cousin Guido. Yeah, no problem. No paperwork either. Just give us the stuff and we'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? And please, by all means, make sure you don't give us nothing that's considered stolen. We's completely on the up and up. So just about anything is of value. Yeah. Them hubcaps you found, that sprinkler system, that bronze statue of Abraham Lincoln you got there in the back of your car, anything. We take it all. We got quick and easy markets for just about everything. Heck, Guido took some plutonium-239 last Tuesday. Found a nice little buyer from the Czech Republic. No problem. Carmine Neguzio's pawn shop will take care of everything. So whether it's a collection of gold teeth, a Blu-ray DVD player there, or a bag of titanium hips, no problem. Just watch for Carmine Neguzio's purple and green Cadillac there and drop it off. I'll get you some quick cash and you can move on your way. Hey, I'm Carmine Neguzio for Carmine Neguzio's pawn shop. I said pawn shop.
Listen to the guitar ring, can't you hear that fiddle swing? When the cowboy starts to sing, let's do the big hat polka. Throw that big hat on the floor, dance around it just once more. Get your enjoys like before, let's do the big hat polka. Spurs a-jingling through the night, dancing to the music bright. Grab your sweetheart once again, tip your hat and then begin. Swinging to the polka beat, clap your hands and stomp your feet. Give yourself a great big treat, let's do the big hat polka. Round and round you go, don't let your feet move too slow. You will be happy, I know, while you're dancing the big hat polka. guitar ring, can't you hear that fiddle swing? When the cowboy starts to sing, let's do the big hat polka. Throw that big hat on the floor, dance around it just once more. Get your enjoys like before, let's do the big hat polka. Spurs a jingling through the night, dancing to the music bright. Grab your sweetheart once again, tip your hat and then begin swinging to the polka beat. Clap your hands and stomp your feet. Give yourself a great big treat. Let's do the big hat polka. Round and round you go. Don't let your feet move too slow. You will be happy, I know, while you're dancing the big hat polka.
Sorry about that, gang, but now we must return you to the Slade and Mayson Show.
Hi, I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mayson,
and this is the Slade and Mayson Show. Hi, I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mayson,
and this is the Slade and Mayson Show. Hi, I'm J.D. Slade.
I'm Dan Mayson,
and this is the Slade and Mayson Show. Hi, I'm J.D. Slade. We got a little hung up there, huh, buddy?
We're back. All right. Well, that was, of course, the
Somebody's polka.
the Big Hat Polka by, and again, we're going to get slammed on this one. That was by Tex Williams, the late great, because he's dead now. The late great Williams. Yeah. And that was, of course, in commemoration of, yes, you guessed it, everybody, National Felt Hat Day. So, in commemoration of National Felt Hat Day, we played the Big Hat Polka for you here on the Slade and Mayson Show.
As Confucius say, naked man who walked through door sideways going to Bangkok.
Oh, gosh. All righty. So before we started the show, you asked me to sit back and think about my favorite toys.
Yes, I did.
Why?
Okay. All right. Because it's that time again for the National Kids Hall of Fame nominations.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
that's a drum roll.
There was one poll. Actually, it's called One Poll. Asked 2,000 adults to name the toys that they loved playing with as kids. They listed 20, but I'll tell you what, if you can name me 10 of them.
Whoa. All right. So I don't know what it was called, but it was like an electronic set, and it had this gear mechanism.
There are categories because, like I say, there are things, there's puzzles, board games, and national name games or national name toys.
Okay.
Just give me 10.
All right. Well, Mousetrap.
Nope.
Twister.
Nope.
Kerplunk.
Man, where the heck did you live?
We all lived on the other side of the railroad tracks.
Where they didn't have toys. It's like toys were rocks.
So I had a friend who had actual 12-inch tall G.I. Joes.
Nope. Right.
All right.
Now I'm starting to understand.
Scrabble.
There we go. Now you're right. There's one. That's one out of the 20. Come on.
I said Twister.
That's not in there.
The Radio Shack 2001 electronic set. Oh, imagine that. Big Wheel.
Wow. All right, I'm going to give you that because I'd consider that to be either bicycle or a tricycle. Yes. All right.
Big Wheels were.
That's
flipping
two.
Awesome.
All right.
Atari 2600.
Who? Video games?
Atari 2600. Yes.
No.
Wow.
They said adults.
For my 8th birthday, I got a bouncy rubber ball. Is that in there, bouncy rubber ball? No.
Boy, your parents really didn't like you at all.
All right.
I mean,
so before you go with your list, don't forget, this program is brought to you by Icey, something icy. That's ICEY, something, SOMETHIN. They leave the G off because the goodness goes in the shop. Icey.com.
Probably only another month of really warm weather, but I'm sure she probably can handle you in the winter.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, she's getting booked up right away. So 804-617-8827. That's my buddy Sheila Keenan. And they're at www.icysomethingicy.com.
The holidays are coming, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get caught short. Don't. She can help you out.
Yep. Great for birthday parties, corporate events, fundraisers. Anytime you want to have a group of people together and having a great time and sharing the happiness, deal with it. It's shaved ice treats. I know it seems kind of weird. It's getting closer towards colder weather, but no, this is quite the operation. So give a call, 804-617-8827. Tell them Dan Mayson sent you. She'll go,
yeah.
Who?
Who? And then spell it for her. Yeah, May.
Why?
Because we love you. SON.
And all right. Well, all right. What about cap guns?
Nope.
How about kickball?
No.
What about
you missed out
wiffle ball?
Now let me tell you something. Okay, stop guessing because you're not going to get it. You obviously had a depraved childhood and your parents didn't like you.
Mousetrap.
Twister. No mousetrap. All right, so I take that back because there's a bunch. I can't believe that you don't know these. The cultural differences between you and I is because, no, I never had any of these. No, I did. I had a couple of these. But it's like, in one, I didn't get until I was an old man.
All right, let's
here we go. I'm going to give you the whole list.
Go.
Toy cash register. Plastic animals. Scrabble.
Yep.
Tricycle. Guess who? And I don't believe you did not get this because every white kid that I know has played this stupid game.
What?
Candyland.
Oh, my gosh. So, all right, there were like 11 of us, okay? By the time I got the Candyland game...
There was only like one ladder left, or the board was
it was one piece, and, it had previous child vomit on it, and it wasn't something I wanted to play with, so...
All right, so let's move on. Remember spinning tops?
Yes.
Again, every one of the kids, we had one of those, man. It's like, and we were always chopping each other's tops up with the top because we try and spin them and hit them and such. All right, come on, let's go on. Boy. Baby dolls. Come on, man.
How about Monopoly?
Teddy bears.
Baby dolls. Teddy bears.
Teddy bears.
I had a teddy bear.
Bop It. Now that's another one of those.
Bop It? So that's an electronic.
They wouldn't let us have Bop It in my neighborhood because people would end up putting rocks in them and such.
Do you know what Bop It is?
Yes, they're two balloons that you put on your hands and you punch each other.
No, Bop It is an electronic game. It's called Bop It. It's a gizmo, and it has it has a handle you have to twist. It has a little knob you have to pull. It has a button you have to press. Yes.
How come you didn't name that when I asked you to give me a list of toys?
Because I didn't have it growing up. It's a new toy.
You have a great deal of knowledge about this game, though.
Yeah, but you were wrong on Bop It, man. You were wrong.
All right, so let me move on.
All right.
Again, how could you not have bicycles in your list, man?
Well, it's not a toy. It's like something you use to get from
toy. It is a toy. It's a method of transportation until you get to be 15.
It was your only means of transportation.
They don't care. They call that a toy.
That's not a toy. That's like underwear. Yeah, great toy. Keeps all my stuff together. Yeah, it's great.
Here we go again. another one of these Caucasian things. Yo-yos.
Yeah.
Caucasian and Orientals.
Used to
they
get
were always good. They could always make the little, ball in the jack and, swinging trees and things like that.
Never get that done.
All right. Building blocks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll give you that one. Building blocks. Yes.
I didn't have building blocks,
It's because you have issues.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Puzzles.
Yeah. I hate those.
I never was good at them. It's like, and I always knew that if I got the 500 piece, there was going to be one piece missing.
It would take 9 years to get done.
All right. This next toy I did not get until I was 42 years old. Furby. I love my Furby.
And then did you throw it in the trash after it wouldn't shut up?
No,
after 3
I
hours?
actually kept that Furby until I moved out of my house and I left it there. All right, wait a minute now. Oh, boy. I know you must think I'm a racist, Dan, but I'm not really.
Go ahead.
All right, all the little white girls. My Little Pony. My Little Pony. You never saw any black children play with My Little Pony.
Oh, we are not going there. Okay.
All right, here we go. Number 3. And I never had any of this. And when I did get it, it was all dried out.
This doesn't sound good to begin with.
Play-Doh.
Oh my gosh.
All right, wait a
okay.
minute now. I noticed that they didn't put the other one that should have been on this list, but it's already in the Toy Makers Hall of Fame.
Slime.
And that is Silly Putty.
Yeah, Silly Putty, slime, Play-Doh, anything you squish with your hands that emulates fecal matter is perfect for children.
Who in their right mind sat here and thought, oh my gosh, we'll come up with this polymer and we'll put it in an egg. And when the kids take it out, if they roll it in their hands, it can be a ball. Mm-hmm. Or if they stick it on the comic strips, it'll lift the comic strip right off.
Yeah. And it smells like a chemical waste dump. Let's stick this in a little tiny jar. We'll call them little eggy things. Yeah, that's it. We're just going to make millions of dollars. It's funny you mention that because Silly Putty was actually a mistake. It was a polymer. You're right. They were trying to make a new synthetic rubber, and this is what they're like. What is this gooey stuff? And then the inventor of it brought some home, and now you got to think back to the Dick Van Dyke Show, where people used to have dinner parties, which blows my mind away. You talk about white bread, okay? Dinner parties is like. Anyway, so obviously there were 3 or 4 martinis in, and the guy pulls out the Silly Putty and goes, "Hey guys, what do you think about this?" This is when they discovered you don't want it to land on the rug because it becomes a permanent part of your carpeting. So, but if you have an ice cube, you can actually put the ice cube down on top of the Silly Putty, let it set for a few moments, and then pick it back with a knife or a fork or something, and it will eventually come out of the carpet.
Pull a piece of your carpet up in the process.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Okay, so now, all right, so again, Play-Doh and Silly Putty, and my mom was one of those. I ain't got to spend $2.99 for no damn Play-Doh.
But Mom, we can get it at the dollar store now.
I can make Play-Doh right here.
Oh no!
And here would be the flour.
Mom, this is
water
and salt.
She was making an unleavened biscuit.
Don't throw that away. That's for tonight's dinner later.
I am so
Make sure you wash your hands first.
Okay, so the last 2.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Trolls. And see, I never understood that? What is the fascination with trolls?
Well, they were little. They had beady eyes.
Not the cutest toy on the tree.
No, and so I think the other thing was, if you recall, shag carpeting was going by the way of the dodo bird. So the manufacturer goes, "Hey man, look what we could do with all this shag carpeting, eh?" "Oh, I got it, Nigel. What are we doing with this shop?" "I got an idea. Let's make these little tiny trolls, yeah, and we'll put a little fucking baby one on the top up, and we get rid of the neon green that way, okay?" So that's where trolls came from. It was actually from a leftover from. No, I'm just making this part up.
You're not. That's the
Next
truth.
thing you know, it's gonna be a part of the Mandela effect. Yeah, I remember a story where trolls actually came from leftover carpeting, and then the story begins. Now we'll have to be on Snoops and anyway. All right,
and here's the
my sister had a bunch of them. What?
The number one toy, and I can't believe that you didn't get this one.
I might have. But go ahead.
All right. This was a toy that was let loose on children long before the warnings from the FDA warned us about choking hazards.
Magic 8-Ball?
No!
Because I can't get that down my throat. Ouija board.
No! Mr. or Mrs. Potato Head.
Now, why is that a choking hazard?
Because of all those little pieces like the ears and the nose and the lips and the eyes. Yeah, it's like, look, I mean, there are stupid children out there who'll go, "Well, this was stuck in the doll. Let me eat it and see what it tastes like." Oh.
Okay. So, all right. So, okay.
I never had a Mr. Potato Head.
You're not missing much.
Well, according to television, I was, because those kids had more fun with Mr. Potato Head.
Okay, I got some news for you. Yeah, I had a Mr. Potato Head. Blip, 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 blip. Well, there he is. Yeah. And he can't stand either. And he couldn't stand. They gave him these two little wobbly legs, and you put it up and it goes thunk, and all the pieces snap back off, and you're like, all right, well, that was a waste of 4 minutes of my life.
So how long did you play with your Mr. Potato Head?
About 34 seconds.
I always wonder because...
I went back to my bouncy ball.
You're silly, buddy. I mean, because I always wondered, it's like, I had seen Mr. Potato Heads who only had like one eye, 1 ear.
Slinky, no, for fun, it's a wonderful toy.
The lips were supposed to be punched in.
So we used to get, like, every year we used to get Slinkies. You ever get a Slinky?
That's another one of those toys that when I got the Slinky, it was already all tangled up.
That's the problem. Well, that's usually what happens after about 3 seconds of using it. You go, and the next thing you know, it's toast. Toast, I tell you. You can never untangle those things. And it was actually, that also was an accidental invention. It was a Navy guy, apparently, and like he was working on some equipment, and this spring sprang out, and he looked at it. It was very slack, and he goes, "That looks like that'd be a great toy for kids." So that next Christmas, markets, and they call it Slinky. I got that kid that goes down, and they made the dog out of it. But of course, they had to.
You know how sharp those things can be.
It's sharp enough to go through the Play-Doh. I know that.
I could never, when I get my friends, I could never make it go down the stairs.
Oh yeah.
It go one chink.
Well, you got to take all that crap off the stairs, the shoes,
all the shag carpeting,
and the stuck Play-Doh.
And then there's I was watching a documentary. They actually made a documentary of this. This woman who created slime.
Yes.
Now, I got to tell you, I would think that slime is probably shag carpeting's worst enemy too. But
it is.
Slime could also be hardwood floors because it could get all up in between us.
It is. And let me tell you something. You want to smell something that's really putrid?
No.
OMG. When after you've played with slime for a while and you're a kid, and kids generally don't wash their hands. So you've played with the slime, you've rolled it down plastic carpeting or what have you, pick all the pieces up, and you stuff it back in the jar, and you put the lid on, and you leave it in a nice warm spot, like under the Christmas tree, where it's staying nice and warm and fermenting. Then you open it up. It is the most god-awful smell thereafter. And after playing with it for like 5 or 6 days, it gets to this hardened disc that makes Alexa look welcoming. It's gross. It breaks open like old Play-Doh. And all you can do is just chuck it in the trash. But man, does it smell bad.
Well, I can tell that having these cultural differences is definitely not. I haven't missed a doggone thing.
So you never got like a chemistry set or
yes,
electronics
I got
kit?
Listen, I did get a chemistry set. It was a secondhand one.
Okay.
And so half the chemicals were missing.
The meth was gone. The Sudafed was gone.
That were there that were liquid, they had dried out. No, I didn't get any use out of my chemistry set.
Do you know when you buy?
I thought I had it, and I thought, all right, watch me make all these bombs.
That's what we all think. Oh my gosh! So the interesting thing is,
I had a privileged childhood.
So now, when you bought those chemistry sets in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, they had the real chemicals in there. I mean, they were real chemicals, full container. Maybe half a dram. It doesn't matter. It was in there.
Nitroglycerin.
Right. Now, when you get them, it's diluted like 300 parts with water. So you have to, and
900 gallons of it to make a fizz.
Right. And now it's like, okay, so we're going to include a little tiny microscope so you can see the reaction under the microscope very tightly a little bit. I'm thinking, really? That's it? So, yeah. Oh, by the way, kids, stump remover, yeah, it really does burn. What you need to do is it's 2/3 stump remover and 1/3 of like powdered sugar. Mix that sucker up and woo-woo, fireworks, kids. Remember, you do this at your own risk. We are not responsible here at the Slade and Mayson Show.
And you were worried about what I was going to say for the show. It's like, and you're telling people how to make bombs.
Well, it doesn't make a bomb. It fizzes up. Now, if you were to put this into like some type of chamber or something and then make a fuse or something, that's way beyond my knowledge and capabilities, and I would never, ever recommend blowing up anything, ever. Especially something that would blow up, because that would be like illegal.
We're responsible adults.
Yes, we're mostly responsible adults, and we want you to realize that. So remember, boys and girls, when you're blowing stuff, if you're blowing stuff up, when you want to blow stuff up, don't blow stuff up in the name of the Slade Mayson Show, because it's not us. We didn't do it. It was.
I have one last question to ask you.
Go ahead.
Who in the world thought that Stretch Armstrong was a toy?
The people who sell corn syrup.
I mean, seriously. So you got this really weird looking dude, and you can pull him out and you can stretch him out, and then it's like he pops back into shape.
It's amazing what you can do with leftover polyvinyl chloride, huh? I'm Dan Mayson, and this is the Slade Mayson Show. Say goodbye, Mr. Slade.
Goodbye, Mr. Slade. Tell my mama I need it, Mayson.
Can't hear you.
I know. I didn't I'm gonna need to go home. I'm gonna need to go home. Oh, you can hear that. So it's like I can serve large and all that kind of stuff. I want
This is the Slade and Mayson Show, copyright 2019. Slade and Mayson Show, Slade and Mayson Show, copyright 2019.
Unauthorized reproduction is strictly prohibited by the NFL.
Any similarity between us and the NFL is greatly assimilated. I'm Dan Mayson.
I'm J.D. Slade.
And I'm Dan Mayson.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. Slade.
Bye, Mr. Mason.
We have to stop being silly now.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get back into my James L. Jones.
This just in. News. What am I going to do this long list of stuff I want to talk about? Oh, well.
Now, Dan Mayson, are we done recording?
Nope.
Say
goodbye.